The sky above the Pacific Ocean was calm that morning. Captain Kim Tae-min stood on the bridge of the submarine ROKS Dolphin. He was 38 years old, tall, with short black hair and calm eyes. He had served in the Navy for 15 years. His crew trusted him completely. Lieutenant Park Ji-hoon, his executive officer, entered the bridge. Ji-hoon was younger, only 31, but very sharp. He always spoke clearly and never wasted words. "Captain, sonar reports unusual noise at bearing 040. It's not whales, it's mechanical, very fast movement." Tae-min looked at the screen. The sound signature was strange. It moved too quickly for any known submarine or ship. He gave the order quietly. "Sound general quarters. Dive to 300 meters. Silent running." The red lights came on. The crew moved fast, but without panic. Everyone knew their job. The submarine slicked deeper into the dark water. Lee Soo-jin was not part of the Navy. She was a scientist on a small research ship 50 kilometers away. She studied sea life and strange chemicals in the deep ocean. That morning, she was in her lab, looking at samples under a microscope. Suddenly, the whole ship shook. Alarms screamed. Soo-jin ran to the deck. She saw lights in the sky, bright white lines falling like rain. They were not meteors. They hit the water and exploded. Huge waves rose. She grabbed the radio. "Mayday, mayday, unknown objects attacking, we are under fire." No answer came. The research ship tilted. Water rushed in. Soo-jin ran to the lifeboat, but before she could reach it, another explosion threw her into the sea. Back on the Dolphin, Tae-min watched the sonar screen. Many large shapes appeared above the water. They were not ships. They were round, black, and moved like insects. They dropped smaller objects into the ocean. Some of those objects started swimming toward the submarine. "Torpedoes ready," Ji-hoon said. "Hold fire," Tae-min answered. "We need to know what they are first." One of the small objects came close. It looked like a metal crab with glowing blue eyes. It attached to the hull. A loud scraping sound filled the submarine. "Intruder on the outer hull," a sailor shouted. Tae-min made a quick decision. "Fire decoy, then evasive maneuvers. Bring us up to periscope depth." The decoy launched. The metal crab followed it. The Dolphin rose slowly. At periscope depth, Tae-min looked through the scope. What he saw made his stomach turn. The horizon was full of huge ships. They were not metal like human ships. They looked like giant beetles floating in the air. Black shells, long legs hanging down. Beams of green light shot from them toward the Korean coast. Explosions bloomed over Incheon and Busan. Smoke rose high into the sky. "Aliens," Ji-hoon whispered. Tae-min lowered the periscope. His voice was steady. "Get me a secure line to Fleet Command if possible, and find out where the nearest friendly ships are." The radio operator tried. Static, then a weak voice. "This is ROKS Seoul. We are under heavy attack. Orbital bombardment. Most surface fleet destroyed. Submarines stay hidden. Repeat, stay hidden." The line went dead. Tae-min looked at his crew. Their faces were pale, but no one cried or ran. They waited for orders. "New course. Head south at best silent speed. We will not die here today." The Dolphin moved away slowly, like a shadow under the water. 2 hours later, they heard a different sound on sonar. A small boat engine, very weak. Someone was alive on the surface. Tae-min took a risk. "Periscope up. Quick look." Through the scope he saw a life raft. One woman sat on it, wet and shaking. She waved a white cloth. Surface. Rescue operation. Fast. The submarine broke the surface. Sailors pulled the woman aboard. She was Dr. Lee Soo-jin. Her lab coat was torn. Her hands shook, but her eyes were clear. "Thank you," she said. "They came from nowhere. No warning. They just started killing." Tae-min took her to the small medical bay. "Tell me everything you saw." Soo-jin drank water. Then she spoke. They are called Krelliks. I heard one of their transmissions before the ship sank. They want the minerals in our oceans, rare elements. They think we are in the way. They do not want to talk, they want to take. Ji-hoon asked, "How do you know their name?" I studied deep-sea biology. Their drones look like giant sea insects. I saw one up close when it attacked my ship. Their bodies are covered in hard shells, but the joints are soft, and they breathe oxygen mixed with something else. Our air might hurt them. Taemin listened carefully. Can we use that? Maybe. I need time and samples. But if we can capture one alive... A new alarm sounded. Sonar pinged loudly. "Captain, multiple contacts. They found us." Taemin stood. "Take us deep again. Emergency dive." The dolphin dropped fast. The Krelliks objects followed. They were fast in water. Too fast. Ji-hoon said, "We can't outrun them forever." Taemin looked at Sujin. "Doctor, how long do you need to make a weapon from their biology?" She thought for a second. "Days, maybe a week, but I need a dead one first, to study." Taemin nodded. "Then we fight. We take one down and bring it inside." He turned to the crew. "Weapons free. Target the closest one. Fire tube 1. The torpedo left the tube. It hit the Krelliks drone. A bright flash underwater. Pieces of black shell floated up. "Bring the wreck inside the torpedo tube." We don't want it exploding. Sailors worked fast. They pulled the broken drone into the submarine. It was bigger than expected. Sharp legs, glowing parts still flickering. Sujin put on gloves. She started examining it, right there in the torpedo room. "It's still warm. The shell is very strong, but look, here, the breathing holes, very small. If we put something bad inside..." Taemin watched her work. Outside, more drones came closer. Ji-hoon reported, "They are calling more ships, big ones. We have maybe 20 minutes." Taemin looked at the map. "We head for the deep trench. Hide there. Let the doctor work." The submarine dove deeper than ever before. The pressure pushed on the hull. Everyone felt it. Sujin cut open the drone. She found soft tissue inside. She took samples. She looked tired, but excited. "This might work," she said. "Their immune system is simple. Earth bacteria could kill them fast, like a cold that becomes deadly." Taemin smiled for the first time that day. "Good. Keep going." Above them, the sky burned. Cities fell. Millions died. But under the sea, 3 people, Captain Kim Taemin, Lieutenant Park Ji-hoon, and Dr. Lee Soo-jin, started to plan something no one expected. They would survive. They would learn. And one day, they would hit back. 3 years had passed since the first Krelliks ships appeared in the sky. Earth was no longer the same. Many big cities lay in ruins. Seoul had tall buildings broken like toys. Incheon's port was full of wrecked ships. People lived underground now, in tunnels, old subway lines, and hidden mountain bases. Food was scarce. Water was dirty. But humans did not give up. In the Taebaek Mountains, deep inside a hidden cave system, General Choi Min-sok planned the fight. He was 45 years old, strong with gray hair starting at the sides. His left arm ended in a metal hook from a battle 2 years ago. He never complained. He spoke in a low, firm voice that made people listen. Every day he met with his commanders. Maps covered the walls. Red lines showed Krelliks patrol zones. Blue dots showed human safe places. Very few blue dots remained. Captain Kim Tae-min stood next to the general. He looked older now. His face had new scars. He still wore his old Navy uniform, patched many times. "General, we have new information," Tae-min said. "Our scouts captured another Krelliks scout drone last night. Dr. Lee Soo-jin is working on it right now." Choi nodded. "Good. We need every edge." In a small lab carved into the rock, Dr. Lee Soo-jin bent over a table. Lights from old batteries lit the room. She wore gloves and a mask. In front of her lay pieces of the drone. Black shell cracked open. Green fluid leaked out slowly. Lieutenant Park Ji-hoon stood guard at the door. He held a rifle. His job was to make sure no one disturbed her. Soo-jin spoke without looking up. This one is different. It has better sensors. But the weak point is still the same. The breathing slits. I mixed earth bacteria with some chemicals we stole from their supply drop. Watch. She dropped a small drop of clear liquid onto the soft tissue inside the shell. The tissue turned black fast. A bad smell filled the room. Ji-hoon coughed. It works. Soo-jin smiled tiredly. It kills them in minutes. We call it Agent H. H for humanity. If we can spread it in their hives or on their ships, they will die fast. Tae-min entered the lab. How many can we make? Enough for one big attack, Soo-jin answered. But we need more samples, and we need to test it on a live one. Choi Min-suk made the decision that night. We hit Incheon Harbor. The Krelliks use it as their main landing point. They bring supplies there. If we take it back, even for one day, the world will see we can win. The plan was dangerous. Incheon was full of Krellik soldiers, thousands of them, tall insect warriors with hard shells and long spears that shot green fire. Humans had only a few hundred fighters for this raid. Ji-hoon led the first team. They moved at night, crawling through ruined streets. They wore dark clothes and carried silenced guns. Tae-min came with the second team, carrying canisters of Agent H in backpacks. They reached the edge of the harbor at 2 a.m. Krellik's lights glowed green. Big ships floated above the water like giant bugs. Smaller drones flew in circles. Ji-hoon whispered into his radio. In position, waiting for your signal, Captain. Tae-min looked at his watch. 5 minutes, then we move. At exactly 2:05, a hidden human team in the hills fired old rockets at the Krellik's guard towers. Explosions lit the sky. Alarms screamed. Chaos started. Ji-hoon's team ran forward. They threw small bombs at the nearest drones. Metal crabs exploded. Green blood sprayed. Tae-min led his group straight to a landed Krellik supply ship. It was open at the back. Workers, smaller Krelliks, carried boxes. Now, Tae-min shouted. His men rushed in. They shot the workers. Then they opened the canisters. They sprayed Agent H into the air vents of the ship. The mist spread fast. Inside the ship, Krelliks started coughing. They scratched at their shells. Joints turned black. They fell one by one. Outside, the battle grew bigger. Krellik's warriors charged. Their spears burned the ground. Humans hid behind broken walls and fired back. Ji-hoon fought hand-to-hand with one big warrior. The alien was taller than him. It swung a claw. Ji-hoon rolled away, then stabbed a knife into the soft spot under its arm. Green blood poured out. The warrior screamed and fell. Tae-min saw a Krellik's commander on a high platform. It was bigger than the others. It shouted orders in a clicking language. Tae-min aimed his rifle. He fired. The bullet hit the commander's eye. It dropped. The Krellik's line broke. They started to run back to their ships. Humans pushed forward. They took the harbor control building. Inside, they found maps and computers. Soo-jin had come with the third team. She worked fast to copy data. We have their jump coordinates, she said. We know where their main base is in this system. Choi Min-suk watched from a hidden hill with binoculars. He saw his people win ground. For the first time in 3 years, humans held a piece of their own land again. He picked up the radio. His voice went out on every open channel humans still had. This is General Choi Min-suk. Today we took back Incheon Harbor. The Krelliks bleed like we do. They die like we do. We are not finished. We are just starting. He paused. You came to our world uninvited. You burned our homes. You killed our families. Now hear this. Soon we come to yours. The message ended. People in hidden bunkers cheered. Tears ran down dirty faces. Hope came back, small but real. Back at the harbor, Taemin stood on the dock. Smoke rose around him. Ji-hoon joined him. Soo-jin came last, carrying a small box of stolen Krellix tech. We lost 40 people, Taemin said quietly. Ji-hoon nodded. But we won. Soo-jin looked at the sky. They will come back stronger. But now we have their technology. We can build our own ships. We can make better weapons. Taemin looked toward the sea. Then we keep fighting. Every day. Until they leave, or until we follow them home. In the mountains, General Choi folded the map. He looked at his commanders. Next step, he said. We build a fleet. We learn their drives. We find their homeworld. And when we are ready, we take the war to them. The Krellix Supreme Commander on the flagship above Earth received the report. His mandibles clicked in anger. Primitives, he said. They dare fight back. He did not know yet how dangerous humans could be when they got angry. 5 years after the first attack. Earth still hurt, but it had changed. Ruins became factories. Old shipyards in Busan and Ulsan worked day and night. People built new ships from stolen Krellix parts, mixed with human ideas. The ships looked strange, sharp human lines with black alien curves. They flew faster than anything humans had before. In a secret base under Jeju Island, the United Earth Defense Command met. General Choi Min-sek stood at the front. His metal hook tapped the table. Everyone waited for him to speak. We have the drive, he said. The jump drive. It works. We tested it last month. We can reach their home system in weeks, not years. People clapped quietly. They were tired, but their eyes shone. Captain Kim Tae-min sat near the front. He now commanded the flagship. It was called Hwarang, after the brave warriors of old Korea. The ship was big, fast, and carried weapons no one had seen before. Tae-min's uniform was new, but his scars were old. Lieutenant Park Ji-hoon sat beside him. Ji-hoon led the special forces now. His team trained every day in zero gravity. They knew how to board enemy ships, fight in tight halls, and use Agent H without breathing it themselves. Dr. Lee Soo-jin stood at a screen. She showed pictures of Zathara, the Krellix homeworld. It was a big planet covered in hives. Tall towers made of black stone rose from the ground. Green lights moved between them like rivers. They have many defenses, Soo-jin said. Orbital stations, laser nets, millions of drones, but their hives are connected. If we hit the center, the whole system will feel it. Choi looked at everyone. We build the Sol Armada. 50 ships, some big like Hwarang, some small and fast. We leave in 3 months. The room was quiet. Then a young officer asked, General, what if we lose? Choi answered slowly, we fight until they leave our world, or we die trying. But I think we win, because humans do not break easy. After the meeting, Taemin walked with Ji-hoon and Soo-jin through the underground halls. Lights flickered from old generators. Ji-hoon spoke first. The crews are ready, but many have families. They worry. Taemin nodded. We all worry, but we have no choice. If we stay here, they come back stronger. We must end it. Soo-jin carried a small box. I finished the new Agent H, stronger, faster. It spreads through their air systems. One canister can clear a whole hive level. They reached the dock. Hwarang waited. It was long and dark, with red stripes on the side. Workers climbed all over it, fixing last parts. Taemin touched the hull. This ship will take us there, and bring us back. 3 months later, the day came. The Sol Armada gathered above Earth. 50 ships in formation. Some looked rough, made from cargo ships with guns added. Others were sleek, built new. All carried hope. People from all over the world watched on small screens in bunkers. Children waved flags. Old people cried. Soldiers saluted. General Choi stood on the bridge of his command ship, called Baekho. He opened the channel to every ship. "This is General Choi Min-sok. Today we leave our home. We go to the stars, not to take, but to finish what they started. They came here. They burned our cities. They thought we were weak. They were wrong." He paused. His voice became harder. "You invaded our world. Now humanity brings the battle to yours." The words went out. Ships answered with short beeps. Engines glowed blue. One by one the ships jumped. First Baekho, then Hwarang, then the rest. They disappeared into bright flashes. Inside Hwarang, Taemin sat in the captain's chair. Ji-hoon stood at weapons. Soo-jin watched the science screens. The first jump was short. They came out near Pluto. Everyone checked systems. No problems. Second jump, longer. Stars blurred. People felt sick, but no one complained. Third jump, they left the solar system. Darkness outside. Only stars. Ji-hoon looked at Taemin. "We are really doing this." Taemin smiled small. "Yes, we are." Days passed inside the ships. Crews trained, ate simple food, talked about home. Some wrote letters they would never send. Soo-jin worked in her lab. She made more Agent H. She also studied Krellick's maps they stole. She found weak points in their defenses. One day, she called Taemin. "Look at this. Their orbital stations have power cores. If we hit them with our new missiles, the stations fall. Easy." Taemin nodded. "Good work." Ji-hoon trained his team. They practiced in empty cargo holds. They wore new armor. Light, strong, with air filters against Agent H. They learned to move fast in low gravity. On the last day before the final jump, Choi called all captains on a secure line. "We arrive tomorrow. Scouts say Zethara has no warning yet. They do not expect us. Use that. Hit hard. Hit fast. Do not stop until the center hive falls." Taemin answered for Hwarang. "We understand, General." Choi looked at the screen. His face was calm. "Come back alive, all of you. That is an order." The line closed. Night came on the ships. Many could not sleep. Taemin stood on the observation deck. Stars filled the window. He thought about his family and soul. He hoped they were safe underground. Ji-hoon joined him. "You think we can win?" Taemin looked at the stars. "We already won the hard part. We survived. Now we finish it." Soo-jin came too. She held a small picture of Earth from space. "We fight for this." They stood together. Quiet. Strong. Alarms sounded softly. "Final jump in 10 minutes, the voice said. Everyone went to stations. Hearts beat fast. Taemin sat down. "All hands, battle stations, jump in 5. The countdown started. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bright light. The stars stretched. Then darkness again. They were there. The Krellick system. Zethara ahead. Big, green, full of hives. Alarms screamed. Krellick ships turned toward them, surprised. Taemin smiled. "They see us now." He gave the order. "Sol Armada, attack." The Sol Armada came out of the jump, right at the edge of the Krellick system. Zethara filled the view screens, big green covered in black towers that looked like giant termite mounds. Lights moved between them like angry fireflies. The Krellicks had no idea humans could reach here. Their surprise lasted only seconds. Alarms screamed on every ship. Krellick's orbital stations turned. Green laser beams cut through space. Small drones swarmed out like bees from a broken hive. General Choi Min-suk stood on the bridge of Baekho. His voice was calm over the fleet channel. "All ships engage. Focus on the stations first. Clear the way for ground teams." Captain Kim Tae-min gripped the arms of his chair on Hwarong. Weapons hot. Launch missiles. Target power cores on the nearest station. Hwarong shook as missiles flew. They were new, human design with Krellick's speed. They hit the station hard. A bright explosion bloomed. Pieces of metal spun away. The station's lasers went dark. Other ships did the same. Baiko fired heavy cannons. Smaller fast ships darted in and out, drawing fire. One small ship exploded in silence. No time to mourn. Lieutenant Park Ji-hoon waited in the drop bay of Hwarong. He wore black-powered armor. His team, 20 men and women, stood ready. They carried rifles, grenades, and canisters of Agent H. 5 minutes to breach, Taemin's voice came over the comms. We punch a hole in their defense grid, then you go down. Ji-hoon nodded to his team. Remember training. Fast in, fast out. Protect the doctor's team. Dr. Lee Soo-jin stood nearby in lighter armor. She carried sealed boxes full of Agent H. Her face was pale, but steady. Once we reach the hive tunnels, I need 10 minutes to release it. After that, it spreads on its own. The battle in space grew wild. Krellick's ships, big beetle shapes, charged forward. They fired green plasma that melted armor. Human ships answered with railguns and torpedoes. One Krellick's cruiser broke in half. Another tried to ram Baiko. Baiko's point defense guns tore it apart. Tae-min watched the screens. We lost 3 ships, but their line is breaking. Ground insertion window in 30 seconds. He gave the order. Drop teams, go. Small pods shot from Hwarong and other ships. They burned through the atmosphere like falling stars. Inside one pod, Ji-hoon felt the heat. The pod shook hard. Then it hit ground. Doors blew open. They landed near the central hive. Black towers rose all around. The air smelled sharp and wet. Krellick's warriors poured out, tall, fast, clicking in anger. Ji-hoon's team opened fire. Bullets punched through soft joints. Green blood sprayed. Soo-jin's team followed close, guarded by soldiers. They ran toward a big entrance, a dark tunnel mouth. Krellick's drones flew at them. Ji-hoon shot one down. He slammed it against a rock. Inside the tunnel, it got darker. Lights from helmets cut through. The walls moved, alive with small bugs. The air felt thick. Soo-jin pointed ahead. There, main corridor. It leads to the Nexus. They pushed deeper. Krellick's warriors waited inside tunnels. They charged with spears. Humans fought back. One soldier fell. Ji-hoon pulled him up. Keep moving. A big warrior blocked the way. It was twice Ji-hoon's size. Its mandibles snapped. Ji-hoon rolled under its swing, planted a grenade on its chest. It exploded. Pieces flew. They reached a wide chamber. In the center stood the Nexus, a glowing green crystal tower. Krellick's workers ran around it. Guards stood tall. Soo-jin opened her boxes. Here, this is the heart of their air system. She attached tubes to vents. Agent H hissed out. Mist filled the air. Workers started coughing. Guards scratched at their shells. Black spots appeared fast. The Krellicks screamed. Many fell. Others ran deeper. Ji-hoon's radio crackled. Captain, we're in. Agent H is spreading. Taemin's voice answered. Good. Hold position. We're coming down with reinforcements. Above, the space battle raged. General Choi directed ships like a chess master. He sent half the fleet to draw fire. The other half pushed toward the planet. A Krellick's battleship targeted Baiko. Choi ordered evasive moves. The ship rocked. One engine died. Crew worked fast to fix it. Choi looked at the screen. All remaining ships, full attack on the orbital ring. Break it now. Missiles flew. Explosions chained together. The ring cracked. Pieces fell toward the planet like burning rain. Taemin took Hwarong lower. It entered atmosphere. Heat shields glowed red. The ship shook. Ground teams, we're landing near you. Hold on. Huarong touched down hard near the hive. More soldiers ran out. They carried heavy guns and more Agent H. Taemin stepped onto the ground. He wore armor too. He carried a rifle. Let's finish this. They joined Ji-hoon's team inside. The tunnels were full of dead Krelliks now. Bodies lay everywhere. The mist still hung in the air. Sujin led them deeper. The queen is close. She controls everything from the throne chamber. They fought through the last guards. Humans moved as one. No fear, only purpose. At the end of the big tunnel, a huge door stood. It opened slowly. Inside, the throne chamber glowed bright green. The Supreme Commander stood there, tall, old, covered in scars. Behind him, the Queen waited, huge, still, eyes shining. The commander clicked loudly. "Primitives, you dare come here." Taemin stepped forward. "You came to our world first. You burned our homes. Now we end it." The commander laughed, a sharp, ugly sound. "All of you." Ji-hoon raised his rifle. "Try us." The fight started. Guards rushed. Humans fired. Green beams hit armor. Humans fell back, then pushed again. Sujin ran to a side panel. She plugged in a device. "I can overload their systems. Shut down the hive mind." Taemin covered her. He shot a guard that came too close. The commander charged Taemin. Claws swung. Taemin dodged. He fired point blank into the soft belly. The commander fell. The queen screamed. The whole chamber shook. Sujin finished. Lights flickered. The queen's eyes dimmed. Workers outside stopped moving. Ji-hoon looked at Taemin. "It's over." Taemin shook his head. "Not yet. We need the surrender." He walked to the queen. She looked down at him. "You win this battle," she said in broken human words. "But our empire is big." Taemin's voice was hard. "Or we keep coming." Above, General Choi watched from Baekho. The orbital defenses were gone. Human ships controlled the sky. He opened a channel to the planet. "This is General Choi Min-sok. Your queen is beaten. Your hives are dying. Surrender now. Withdraw from our space. Pay for what you took, or we finish every hive." Silence. Then the queen spoke over the same channel. "We submit." The war on Zathara stopped. Humans stood in the chamber, tired, hurt, but alive. They had brought the battle to the enemy's home, and they had won. The throne chamber was quiet now. Dead Krelliks lay on the floor. Green blood pooled in dark patches. The air still smelled sharp from Agent H. The big crystal tower in the center flickered weakly. Its light dimmed like a dying fire. Captain Kim Tae-min stood in front of the queen. She was huge, much bigger than any warrior. Her body filled half the chamber. Her many eyes looked down at him. Some eyes were cloudy, others still sharp with anger. The Supreme Commander lay dead at Taemin's feet. His claws were open. No more clicking orders came from him. Lieutenant Park Ji-hoon stood on one side. His armor had cracks. Blood, human blood, ran from a cut on his arm. He held his rifle ready. Dr. Lee Soo-jin stood on the other side. She breathed hard. Her hands shook a little, but she kept them steady. She watched the queen carefully. General Choi Min-suk's voice came through every helmet speaker. He spoke from orbit on Baekho. "Ground team, report." Taemin answered. "We have the throne chamber. The queen is here. The commander is dead. Agent H is spreading through the lower levels. Their forces are breaking." Choi paused. Then he said, "Good. Put me on visual." A small hologram appeared from Taemin's wrist device. Choi's face showed clear. His metal hook rested on the command table. Behind him, crew members worked fast. Choi looked at the queen through the link. His voice was low and hard. "You are beaten. Your hives fall. Your ships burn in orbit. Your empire cracks. We did not come to take your world. We came to stop you from taking ours." The queen moved slowly. Her mandibles clicked once. Then she spoke in rough human words, learned from captured broadcasts. "We needed the minerals. Your oceans had them. We thought you were small, weak. We were wrong." Taemin stepped closer. "You killed millions. You burned cities. You left children without parents. You thought we would break. We did not." Ji-hoon added quietly, "We adapt. We fight. We never stop." The queen's eyes moved between them. "What do you want now? Our death?" Choi answered from the hologram, "No. We want peace. Real peace. You will withdraw every ship from human space. You will never return. You will pay for what you destroyed. Resources, technology, knowledge. We will take what we need to rebuild. And you will sign it here, now." The queen was silent for a long time. Outside, sounds of fighting grew weaker. Krellick's workers stopped moving. Many lay still. Others tried to crawl away. Finally she spoke. "We submit. The Empire will break without the central hive. Many worlds will fight each other now. But we will give the order. Withdrawal. No more attacks on Earth." Sujin stepped forward. She held a small device. "We have recorded this. Every word. It will go to all your hives. If you break this promise, we come back. And next time, we do not stop at one planet." The queen lowered her head. A small tendril reached out and touched the device. It glowed. The agreement was sealed in their way. Chemical marks and light patterns. Taemin looked at Ji-hoon and Sujin. "It's done." Ji-hoon lowered his rifle a little. "For now." Choi's hologram nodded. "All ships, cease fire. Secure the area. Prepare for withdrawal. We take what we came for. Data cores, mineral samples, jump tech spares. Then we leave." The humans moved fast. Teams entered side chambers. They took glowing crystals, black boxes, and containers of rare elements. Krellick's workers did not fight back. They watched in silence. Hours passed. The sun on Zathara moved across the sky. Green light turned softer. Taemin stood outside the hive entrance. Smoke rose from broken towers. Human ships landed nearby. Soldiers loaded crates. "We lost good people today, but we won." Taemin looked at the horizon. "Yes, we won." Sujin came last. She carried one last box. "I have samples of their biology. We can study it. Make sure they never threaten us again." A small group of Krellick's workers approached slowly. They carried no weapons. One held a white cloth, human style. Taemin raised his hand. "Let them speak." The lead worker clicked softly. Sujin's translator hummed. "We ask mercy for the young, the larvae. They did not choose this war." Taemin thought for a moment. Then he said, "Tell your people, we do not kill children. We never did. Protect them. Teach them not to invade other worlds." The worker bowed low. Then they left. General Choi's voice came again. "All teams, return to ships. We jump home in 1 hour." The ground teams boarded. Horang lifted off last. Taemin stood on the bridge and looked down at Zathara one more time. Black smoke covered parts of the planet, but the fighting had stopped. The fleet gathered in orbit. Ships formed up. Engines glowed. Choi opened the final channel. "Sol Armada, this is Baiko. Mission complete. We are going home." One by one the ships jumped. Flashes of light. Then silence. Weeks later, Earth looked different. Ships returned to the sky, not to fight, but to bring help. Food, medicine, new tech. People came out from underground. They saw sunlight again. Children ran in streets that were being rebuilt. In Seoul, near the Han River, a new monument stood. It was simple. A tall stone with names carved in it. Names of the fallen. At the base, words in Korean and English. They came to our world. We brought the battle to theirs. Humanity endures. Taemin, Jihoon, Sujin and Choi stood there together. They wore plain clothes now. No uniforms, no armor. Choi looked at the river. We did it. Because we never gave up. Jihoon smiled small. And because we had each other. Sujin touched the stone. For them, and for the ones still coming. Far above, new beacons orbited Earth. Small machines. They watched space. If any Krellick's ship ever came close again, alarms would sound. But for now, the stars were quiet. Human ships began to leave again. Not for war, but for new worlds. Explorers, builders, families. Humanity had been tested. It had bled. It had lost much. But it had also learned. It had grown stronger. It had shown the galaxy what humans could do when pushed too far. And the galaxy listened. In the quiet nights, people looked up at the stars. They no longer feared them.